welcome to episode 6 of 6460, the show where I tell you 6 of my favorite things about Star Trek as I celebrate their 60th anniversary in 2026. So, um, if you've been watching or if this is your first time watching, I'm really corny. So, it's February and every episode this month is about love. So this week we're talking about fast love. And there's a standing joke. It's Kirk and everybody. Kirk falls in love with everybody instantly. But we know that's not the real case. It's just like red shirts dying. Somebody actually did the math for it, and red shirts don't actually die any faster than any other branch of Starfleet. But, it's funny. So we like to roll with the jokes. But anyway, I'm going to start right at the top with number one, the original series, Kirk and Reyna in Requiem for Methuselah. That was season 3, episode 19, where, they're being down to the planet. They need some ore to be refined so they can go cure plague on another planet or on the ship. I'm going to have to go back and rewatch that episode. But they're trying to cure some disease. And Kirk runs into this young woman. He's immediately enamored with her. And in the end, she ends up dying because she's an artificial life form, and she is torn between her paternal love for her creator and this new romantic love for Kirk. So it's very, again, wonderful episode, a little sad. Number 2, and this is the one that even I think people who really aren't familiar with Star Trek, or maybe they're familiar with the universe of Trek, but they're not fans of TOS, will still be able to tell you about The City on the Edge of Forever, where Kirk falls in love with Edith Keeler and then has to let her die so that he does not destroy human history. Oh, it's so very sad. And that's season 1, episode 28. And and he ended up in the past. They went through the Guardian of Forever, which is just this machine entity. Some people say it is alive. If you watch Discovery, it is not implied. They basically tell you that this entity moves and is sentient and makes decisions to help, keep the universe rolling along. It is a guardian. So, but in this particular case, they've got to go back in time to rescue Bones, who's out running amok. And Kirk and Spock go back, and he falls in love with Edith Keeler. So, what I've wondered is, who was his greatest love between these two? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Of course, it's a gut-wrenching because he's got to allow, not just watch, Edith Keeler to die. But with Reyna, he was kind of the cause of her death, because her love for him versus her paternal love for her creator, is what causes her essentially to short circuit and die. Now, just chit-chatting with my friends, they felt like Reyna was the greater loss, because at the end of that episode, Spock comes to Kirk in his room, in his bedroom, and does a mind meld kind of quick thing so that he will forget Reyna in this loss. That's kind of deep. But one might also argue that it's not that Reyna was a greater loss than Edith. It's just that, he lost Edith in season 1, we'll say, early on in their travels. and Reyna was in season 3, which is later in their travels, and maybe Spock is just like, you know what, my friend has been through so much stuff, let me help him out. So, who knows? That's my personal theory. You may or may not agree with it. Let me know in the comments. Or maybe you've just never even thought about it because you don't care that much, and that's okay. So for number 3 this week, it is again TOS and Bones and the Hollow World Priestess. It's season 3, episode 8, For the World is Hollow and I Have Touched the Sky. So there's a ship that looks like a planet hurtling through space. It's going off course. And of course, the Enterprise shows up to save the day. When they get there, the people on the ship have no idea that they're on a ship. They think that they're on a planet. Long story short, Bones falls in love with the High Priestess, decides to stay because he's found out he has a disease and is going to die anyway, so he wants to spend the rest of his days there with this woman that he has fallen in love with. Of course, Bones doesn't get a happy... Well, he does get a happy ending in that the Yanadans have the cure for his disease in their database. They're no longer going to crash and die. And everybody gets to live in the end. And then Bones decides, hey, this is giving me new life, literally. So I'm going to go back to my world and continue to go out and try and save people and continue to be a doctor and save folks. But they imply that the Enterprise will go to visit them once they get to their destination planet. We never see that episode. That never happens. They never mention it in any of the movies. So we don't know if Bones ever got to reconnect with his love or not. Let's see. Number 4. We on number 4. This one I just thought was so silly to me. But it's, not this one. The next one is the one that really cracks me up. Sorry. So this is TNG, Deanna, and the Clone Planet. This is season 5, episode 13, and it's called The Masterpiece Society, where these folks, they're just clones, and, that was outlawed, and all kind of genetic manipulation was outlawed on Earth. So these folks just decided they're going to come out and, find their own planet and live their own lives, and they're going to, they're not clones per se, but you are genetically engineered for a job. When you are born exactly what you're going to do. And there's no choice in the matter. You're a musician or a city administrator or whatever. And Deanna falls in love with the city administrator. And basically they almost rip apart their entire society because some people want to leave and go with the Enterprise. And there's just a lot of confusion. Because each person has been engineered for a specific slot in society. So if people decide to leave, or if Deanna had decided to stay, everything's just blown to heck because you've got these random variables introduced and cogs missing where they need to be. So again, I thought that was a little strange that Deanna would just decide, oh, hey, I'm just going to come in and destroy an entire society because I think this guy's hot. But, such is life. So the one that really, really cracks me up is number 5 on my list. It's Deep Space Nine, season 2, episode 17, called Meridian. So in this particular episode, they find a planet that is existing in multiple dimensions. So it phases in and out. So it only exists in our dimension for a very short period of time. But Dax runs in and meets this guy, and she is instantly in love and then decides to have Bashir change her molecular structure. They're going to do something so that she can phase shift with the planet and be gone for like 60 years or some craziness. No idea what this will do to her symbiote. symbiont. It's just crazy. She's just, I'm going to leave my current existence for this man that she has known for like 2 days. Um, Again, just the whole concept of fast love for me in all of these shows is just hysterical because while I do believe in love at first sight, that doesn't mean that you immediately go and live with the person or move to another dimension. It just absolutely just cracked me up. At the end of Meridian, of course, it doesn't work. She can't shift. She's actually destroying the planet. They're having earthquakes, and well, she doesn't destroy, but it appears as if the planet could potentially be destroyed by her trying to shift. There are quakes and all sorts of stuff is happening, and so she finally gives it up, and then she's just back on the Defiant, all sad. Um, I should laugh, but man, that episode just cracks me up. Um, and so my last one, my 6 460 is DS9 with Cisco and the mental projection woman. So this is in season 2. He still had hair. Episode 9, and it's called I think Second Sight. Is that? Yeah, Second Sight. And this is a big deal for him. This is the first person he's really been attracted to since his wife Jennifer passed away. And unfortunately for him, she's not a real person. She is just an alter ego of an unhappily married woman who happens to be on the station with her husband at the moment. And it's horribly tragic because her race mates for life. And she's also married to an alien who's not of her race. And her husband sacrifices himself. He kills himself because that's the only way to release his wife from their bond. So that whole episode was just tragic. Just all around. Nobody got what they wanted. Nobody really found real love. Poor Cisco was in love with, again, mental projection, alter ego, and the actual living woman doesn't know or remember what their alter ego experiences, so she has no idea that her alter ego fell in love with Cisco and he with her. So again, just the whole concept of fast love in the Star Trek universe. Now, of course, there's a lot more. Every show does it. Everybody does it. But these were my top 6 for this week. And just as a little bonus, Voyager and Harry Kim. Poor Harry Kim. Again, I didn't count it up. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. Certainly couldn't tell you the names of any of the people he was involved with. But it was just a running joke that he just fell in love with people who were just untainable, didn't care about him in the least, existed in different dimensions. It's really funny. So, so again, while I was looking for photos to go with this episode, I did run across a great article that somebody wrote, and it's on Screen Rant, and I'll include the link in the comments so that you can go read about Harry Kim and his 10 failed romantic adventures on Voyager. Let me know if you have a favorite Fast Love episode in the comments, and I hope you are having a wonderful February, and we will chat again on Follow-Up Friday. And I hope to see you next week. Live long and prosper.